That title, Next Gen Regional Director, what is the Next Gen?
So Acp Next Gen is a global program that SAP runs, and it's all about building the innovation community.
The next big thing.
The next big thing, but also, you know, how do we galvanize our ecosystem as SAP together with startups, universities, accelerators, thought leaders, to come into a conversation and collaborate around innovation with purpose, all linked to the UN Sustainable Development Goals.
Okay, why is it important in your view that girls and young women should embrace careers in the technology sector? I mean, this is not the first time that people have been saying this, but it doesn't seem like we're making any progress.
Well, I think we have to consider how technology is changing the world that we live in. Obviously, we're in the age of digital, where this is disrupting every single industry. So, I mean, there are all the examples around, you know, Uber and how that's changed the transportation industry. If you look locally, there's companies in fintech that are revolutionizing how payments are made and allowing entrepreneurs to actually access revenues using, for example, card payments, where it was previously unaffordable.
There's even a new bank that's coming up, which is paperless.
Exactly. So the technology is really unlocking economic advantages for the African continent. But further than that, you know, with digitization now, we have to think about automation that's coming into play and how many jobs will then be, you know, changed and disrupted.
But why
in the
is it, Kwena, that women and girls don't seem to be really getting into the mainstream of this?
Well, I think, you know, there's a number of factors. So if we consider the numbers are still low at the moment. So if we're going to universities and look at students that are studying tech-related fields, only a quarter of those are girls. And then if you go into corporate tech-related jobs, only 30% of female representation there. So the numbers are still low, and I think that's due to a number of factors. So, for example, if you look at girls, technology is still traditionally considered something that the boys are doing. It's not cool for girls to do tech.
So it starts at home and starts at the lower levels of education, primary education. We need to change the mindsets and approach to it.
Absolutely, and this is why we have programs like Acp Next Gen that is working with students to change that perception. We have programs like Africa Code Week that are imparting basic coding skills at that early stage in primary school, where there's a big focus from SAP to focus on girls in terms of changing that perception.
Yeah, you mentioned coding, but I mean, if you look at the world of IT and stuff, you hear language like the developers, and you hear language like those who look after the hardware and all those things. So I mean, it's like there's a range of skills that you require. In your view, what should happen for us to ramp up the participation of young women in ICT sector?
I think, first of all, you know, we all have to consider that all stakeholders have an important role to play, as we all stand to benefit from improvements in terms of technology, and we all stand to benefit from an improved economic landscape with technological advancement. So I think that a concerted, intentional, multi-stakeholder approach is required in order to address this issue. So we need to see collaboration across the public sector, private sector, as well as civic society, to effect systematic changes that will bring about more future-ready skills.
Yeah. Before I let you go, you as SAP, you also got a couple of programs that you do to try and get young women involved in tech. Very briefly, can you just tell us about them?
Sure, I'll give you 3 examples. I already started talking about Acp Next Gen, where our focus there is around innovation with purpose, right, and building the communities with that. So, for example, what we do in an initiative under Next Gen is Drive Women in Data Science, which is a global partnership with Stanford University, where we host events and conferences all over the world to encourage women to enter the field of data science by showing them bringing together aspiring and current leaders in the field to facilitate a conversation around how do we encourage more women to, for instance, enter the field of data science. Under Next Gen as well, the gender equality topic is very big for us. So we partner with the universities around establishing equality lounges on campus where women can come into and have a conversation around innovation and tech. And then if you look at our Africa Code Week, as I've mentioned, this is a program where we are instilling basic coding skills and partnering with organizations like Google and UNESCO to drive
well, I guess every little effort counts. And
every little effort counts, yes.
No, thank you very much and good luck.
Thank you, Dan.
Thanks for coming through to talk to us about the importance of why young girls and women should embrace the world of technology.